Hello, my name is Siahlongwa, and I am your host for today's episode of Civic Space Today. We continue on the trajectory of unearthing the experiences of human rights defenders working on the ground directly with communities as activists and as human rights defenders to defend the rights of their communities, but also tackling their own experiences of discrimination and exclusion. Our guest is Wendelinus, an activist in the context of Namibia. Wendelinus, tell us a little more about the work that you do, the purpose behind it, and also what inspired you to become a human rights defender.
Good day. My name is Wendelinus Ndoakalonga Hamtenya Yelemia, popularly known as Maria Omiapuki. That is my preferred names, and most of the people know me as Maria Omiapuki. Well, I would like to starting by talk about on my activism journey and where I started. I started my journey as an activist when I entered in the competitions that's called Mr. Gay Namibia in 2012. So, and then I was chosen as an official representative of the LGBTI, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and the intersex community. So actually this event was about to create a positive image of the LGBTI and also to promote the Namibian society where all people are equal and accepted as human beings. So growing up in the northern part of Namibia, as a young boy looking after cattle, it was very difficult because I realized at young age that I'm different from other boys. So I was because I grown up in the Christian family, and then I was a altar boy at that time. So I wanted also to pursue a career of priesthood, and my parents were very happy, and everybody was very happy at the community because I was very much involved in the church. So everywhere the priest going, I'm there. Every Sunday I'm there. Sundays, schools and everything, I'm there. So it was very quite very interesting. Everybody knows me as a church boy, and due to my feminine, most of people they call me Sister Mary because I was in this in the choir at the church, and then people used to call me or tease me, call me Sister Mary. So at that time now, when I was going to school, I fell in love with young men. Let me say my schoolmate, and then my parents, they didn't know about it. They were just saying that we are friends and things like that. So the priest that I was assigned to as an altar boy, he was moving from northern part of Namibia to come to Windhoek. So this priest was very much and wanted me to pursue a priesthood career. So he asked my parents if they can also transfer to school where he's going to be the missionary. So my parents agreed, and then I was transferred to a school in Windhoek. St. Joseph Debra is when I started going to school. So when I come in Windhoek, so I didn't know, or I didn't knew much more about the LGBTI community. So I saw an advert in the newspaper that calling people to take part in Mr. Gay Namibia. It's where I was very curious. I wanted to meet people of my age as gay people. I wanted to meet this thing. So that is when in 2012 I ended in Mr. Gay Namibia, and then I was crowned as Mr. Gay Namibia. Is it where my activism started, and where I become now a human rights defender. And most of what exactly inspired me to become a human rights defender is because that coming from back in the northern part of Namibia, so homosexuality was regarded as on a certain tribe, like Damara tribe or white people. So for me as a Shivambo person, I wanted to become one of the to become a voice for the voiceless, for those that cannot speak themselves. This is where my strong point come in, that I would want to be more visible. I wanted to be a pioneer. I wanted to be that person everybody will understand me, and because I wanted to close that gap and to make people understanding in modern society that our country is rich with gay men and women with intelligent talent and strong morals. So that was the most inspired me, and then I start looking, searching, and all that is where my activism started. That I wanted to be visible. I wanted to be Oshivambo people who known that I defend Oshivambo people, speaking as a young as a gay man. So that's where most when I came to Windhoek, when I also ended in the competition, when I went to South Africa, is where I meet also young people. They also inspired me to do the job. They tell me what they are doing in their countries, and started now attending meetings. And then also today I established an organization in 2013 is when I established an organization called Right for All Movement. It's where now the whole fire and I don't even how to explain it. It's not everything now started to be who I am today, to be very strong, to meet values activists from different all walks of life in Namibia, in South Africa, and all over the world where I connect with them.
Can you give us a synopsis on the legislative background of Namibia as far as it extends to the human rights protections of the LGBTQIA+ community? And also cite any experiences of discrimination and targeting that you might have experienced because of any gaps that exist in human rights protections in your context.
Well, when it's coming to the LGBTI, historically, before the independence, I was still a young men and who did not know about my sexuality. I'm trying to ignore whether I know I love other men, but it was not really an issue or something like that. So when you look at it now after the independence of the LGBT community was facing really a bad backlash from the first Namibian president, the former president Sam Nujoma, who, let me say, President Nujoma's administration was very anti-gay. Because we have the president who say that in Namibia will be no lesbian, there will be no gay. We must reject them, we must deport them, and all type of things. And we had like of Jerry Akanjo. He started in the administration of Sam Nujoma. He been anti-gay since. He was saying even ordered the police, Namibian police, way back, that they must arrest any gay person, even if the gay person have a dog, also they must arrest that dog. So it became a problem. We were abused, we were beaten. Whenever you were being seen with the earrings, some of the people were abused. The like of Mama Africa, they were undressed by the Namibian Defense Force. People were really abused, and it was really not good at all. So, and things were not really going well, because people were leaving the country, people were going in hiding, and it was just undercover thing. So then comes again the second president administration for former President Hifikepunye Pohamba. We didn't have much backlash when it's coming to hate speech or discrimination, but discrimination is still there, like maybe job opportunity or promotion and all that. Those things were still an issue when it's coming to a work environment, but we didn't have that. The president, former Hifikepunye Pohamba, was not really having spoken out against the LGBTI community, and also the administration. I think it was a little bit relaxed. We didn't have much backlash when it's come to LGBTI. We were doing our job and all that of things. So and then comes again the third president, that is Dr. Hage Geingob, the late Hage Geingob. So here we had a lot of noise. Actually, the president, the late president, also is on his inauguration is saying that nobody should feel left out. So there was no other really backlash from his administration as well, but things they were coming up here and there, but was not that major event. So the most unleashed it was now after the late president. There was we had a supreme ruling on the 16th of May 2023, where by the Minister of Home Affairs and Immigration was obligated to recognize and register the same-sex marriage legally that contractors outside of Namibia between the Namibian foreigner, and the ruling means also the foreigner national such as marriage must be given to domicile in the country. So however, now this ruling has since it was passed, it really unleashed the wave of anti-LGBT activities. So this range from anti-LGBT demonstration, petition, parliament, setting up of anti-gay social groups that sport venom. There have been wide circulating of people armed to teeth saying they weren't going to flush out gay and they are going to deal with them, and the other group have called for gays, lesbian to be beaten or even up to killed. So parliamentarians, even including the Prime Minister Sarah Kuongera Madila, have also said the ruling party will not accept the gays. So it went up to the parliament, where the people now they started they bring up the bills. Now Jerry Akanjo introduced the private bill, that is anti-gay bill and anti-same-sex marriage bill, and it unleashed a lot of problems. So when it unleashed a lot of problems and we face a lot of challenges, of hate speech, a lot of things that happened, and then it's where most of our people started now they started now hating, particularly in myself. I receive a lot of hate speech, death threat with my husband, because I am in the same-sex marriage for 6 years now. So I counted like Namibian Defense Force come to our house. Sometimes they come as holding us the gun to tell us who is funding us, where do I get the money to sustain the organization. I must talk with things. There's a time I was also arrested by the Namibian police to question my work in the country and all type of things. So like myself, I suffered in the hands of the law enforcement, whereby I make an appointment with the Namibian police to the Lieutenant General Joseph Sikongo to go and explain what experience I'm doing. I opened many cases, like just after the Supreme Court, the 16th of May 2023, last year, I've opened like around 8 or 9 cases of malicious damage to property, abuse, death threats. My house been invaded by the defense force. They throw my husband. They throw it was just unsafe environment after the ruling, so it became a problem. But I don't know, up to now we have this allegations where we have a lot of killings. We have never in the past have any heard about a transgender was the brutal abuse, but from after this ruling with this anti-gay thing, anti-gay bill and all things and demonstration, we have lost 7 LGBTI people were killed. Some of them were their organ were cut off and placed in the chest. Some of them they were stabbed 32 times. Some of them they were cut the nose, no ears. Some of them they were robbed and killed. Some of them were even transgender persons was also, some of them they were raped, they were brutal abused and beaten. It's just this. It's just this not a life that everyone want to live in, that we're being abused, being discriminated, being insulted, by called all sort of names. Yeah, so this when I look at it backward and now, we were growing as a community, but after this killing, 7 people were killed, and none of the government, they are not speaking out. We were talking about it, and then we asked the government to condemn the killing, but none of the official has come out, or even a politician to condemn these barbaric killings. None of them. So it's only us that we are activists, that we are speaking out, and even on the international community that we have, like of the American representative, they are in the country, the Britons, we have so many in the embassies that are in our country, but they never come out. That is hurt me so much to see these people. They always sing about human rights and this and that, human rights abuse, but they have never come out to speak out about these killings. They are just quiet, and even they are it really make me very, very, very painful.
It's quite concerning that international organizations would have a quiet stance or a neutral stance when it comes to speaking out about the injustices that are played upon the queer community in Namibia, and also that the laws are being used as a mask for people to conceal their hate and their discrimination toward the community. And as we continue to have these positive rulings, that we continue to see backlashing that's happening. Now, behind this backlash, behind these attacks that you have made reference to, what is the culture behind that? What are the cultural references that play out socially in the context of Namibia that are impacting negatively on the community? And what what are the belief systems as well that make up these cultural notions that seem to be causing people to target the community?
They still believe that being a homosexual is against our cultural norms. And in my culture, where I'm coming from, is that when a boy find out that he have the feelings of another boy, they have to make a hot iron. They took a hot iron and then they put it in the boy's anus, apparently to burn out the feeling of for another man, so that you cannot have anal sex with another man. It's a belief. Even sometimes first option is that they let you climb up on the tree, on top of the tree, and they cut off a tree and then you fall down. So apparently when you fall down, that feeling also fall out. And then second option is to put the hot iron. They take an iron, they put it on the fire, and when that iron is like reddish, they took it and then put it in the anus of the boy in order for you to be cured homosexuality. So it is a belief, and it's the traditional whom they also even wrote letters to the president to overturn the ruling of the Supreme Court. I'm not supposed to you are not supposed to act like a woman. So they have a belief that if you are a man, you must act like a man. If you are a woman, you must act like a man. So they place you in the box. So you, as a woman, you must not go and look after the kettles. As a woman, you're not coming in the house after the kettle. When the kettle's already put in the club, yeah? As a woman, if you are somewhere, if you find the kettles, they are already there, you cannot come in, so you have to sleep and then you come back tomorrow when they are out. So that is the belief, and they believe that being a homosexual is not, it's a taboo. It's a taboo, and then in my culture we call it a shenge. So now a shenge is having a name. People, they give it a name, but yet the tradition that they believe that is a taboo to have a child. So people, they look at you in the manner that maybe you are cursed. They say all this bad word. Lumamonufu, henda konima, chaverwangubu, pilameneko. So it's having very painful word when people are saying to you. So it's a very difficult word. I mean, it's a very painful word when somebody throw that to you. So there is no, when for them the law, you know, some of the traditional, they even believe in the Bible better than the Namibian constitution. They don't even regard the constitution. There's once one of our leaders said that the constitution is just a paper. Yeah. So they still have that, they believe. And then most of traditional, they hold this traditional court. Children, you also been caught having sex with another boys. You have been caught there and then called and then wiped with 20 lashes on your buttocks, or if you are a lady, and then they put the hot collars. So I don't think so this dynamic is continuing, because now, as I said earlier, that the ruling has really unleashed a wave of anti-LGBTI, and most of the traditional, they organize demonstration, the petition. So it asks the people to go under the underground. So most of the people, when we were speaking out, they look as their mentor. They look as their they look up to us, because they've spoken us against the government without fear. We spoke out, particularly me myself. I speak with no fear with anybody, as long as I'm not insulting, but I stand my ground, and then I become the voice of the voiceless for my traditional way I'm coming from. And traditional way I'm coming from is the biggest tradition population in the country. So it was very difficult, people, for me to stand up. Everybody was like, oh, you will be killed, you will be do what, you will be do what. So I avoid going to places, some other places, just to not to either to be poisons or either to be what, because they look up to that. Because like now, they used to say, we must kill the snake on the head. When you kill the snake on the head, means that the tail cannot able to walk. So means that I'm the one who is now speaking for them, and these people, they got the roots because I speak with them. There's somebody who speak them. I'm their leader, so they regarded me that you must be killed. That's why we receive a lot of death threat on daily basis. People, your house has been invaded, your property has been damaged, and all type of things. So it become a thing of the day. So traditional do never change. They still believe homosexuality is a taboo, and they continue to discriminate, continue to even for instance, if I said as a homosexual known, and then I go to the traditional seeking for a land, obviously they will not able to give to me, because they think, what am I going to do the land, because I am already I'm not a human being. They regard it as not a human being because you are homosexual and married to another man, and it doesn't make sense for them. They look at me as that thing. Yeah, they don't value you as traditional. But there are those people who believe in you. When they see you, they give you a hug, they thank you. But there are some people still having that thing of look at you as you are nobody, look at you as you are useless. Yours is only to have sex, anal sex, but they look at you as a human being, that beyond you being your sexual orientation, you can able to do A, B, C, and D. That's why today we encourage young gay men to study, to make sure that they stand on their ground, they stand on their feet, to make sure that when people, they look at them, they must become doctors, they become nurses, they must become police officers, they must become NDF and everything. So, but when they are in those positions, they have to hide themselves, and that become a problem. Because and most of the people traditionally, they have to get married to women in order for them to be recognized in the community, and that have traditional work.
It's very clear that we still have a lot of work to do to unearth the social disparities, the discrimination, the exclusion, the very intentional targeting of the community, and also these very deeply rooted cultural nuances that make people feel that the LGBTQ community does not belong. And in fact, all of these notions are imports. They seem to be very colonially oriented, and it's something that still needs to be worked on and essentially rooted out of the community and the culture of Namibia. Now, as we continue this conversation, I thought it was important for us to also touch on the socio-economic climate. Can we touch on the implications of what's happening to the community and what the solutions are in your mind? What would be the ultimate direction that the community should take in order for us to get stability, for us to be able to afford lifestyles that protect us, that insulate us from this targeting and discrimination and exclusion?
Well, the daily lives of our queer people in Namibia is on the struggle. On the struggle sense that most of our LGBT people, they are not working, they are unemployed. And some of them, they have HIV and AIDS, and it's very difficult for them, and they are staying in very far where they can able to get to reach to the facility, the health facility. And the other problematic is that, so some of them, they decided to quit the medication due to the discrimination they are facing at the clinics where they're supposed to get their medication, and some of them, they quit also the medication because they have nothing to eat. So, and then when the donors, when they give us money, they just want us to be specific on that project, but you're not able to expand. Although you are helping A, B, C, and D, but you are not able to do much because that donor restrict you to do A, B, C. So most of this our LGBT, I live in the suburb where there is no electricity, there is no toilet, there is no even water. So it's very difficult. Coming from those ones, there's something they are either been always being discriminated. They don't have all means to come to the facility, or they don't have means to even to come and take their medication. So it's very difficult to as individuals to wake up on the day they never had a word, morphine, or all this insult. So sometimes they have been forced to remain indoors and they don't even go and take their medication because mind you, you already HIV positive, and then you are afraid when I walk up there, how is people going to look at you? And they said, okay, you got HIV because you've been I'm going to be very straightforward. He got HIV because he having anal sex or been fucking the ass. That's why he contracted HIV. So the struggle is very big. And then we have LGBT that who are sex workers. So now they are on daily basis, they are being, police, they also, like city police, when they find this our LGBT that are there, they arrest them, they drop them very far, they undress them, or they sometimes they case them, and then they parading them, say, look, this one is wearing like a woman, but down here is a man. So it's a daily thing in the so it's very difficult sometimes to even to talk about it. Your tears start running already, because this is the people coming to your office. You help this one today, tomorrow want to help this one, but sometimes you have no means also to do that. Even when you want to capacitate this LGBTI person, and then the donor does not permit you. It's just so difficult. It's really difficult to their lives. So when it comes like now, they are being targeted. They are being targeted. People are being whenever they are out, whether at their bar or at the entertainment places, so people, they intend to target them even on Gaydal. Yeah, you hook up with this person, or they start blackmailing you, or sometimes they chat with you but they're not chatting with you willingly. They just wanted you to write things, you send them this and that, and they start exposing you. So the lives of the LGBTI is quite tense now in Namibia, because it's not the life that we've been living before as an LGBT person. Our life is under threat, coming from the traditional, coming from our leaders, coming from the community leaders. So everybody is against the LGBTI. So it's very difficult for you to walk freely, or even to go out freely, because you're afraid. You don't know who's gonna attack you, who's gonna be next. Because every day now, within past 7 months or 6 people, the LGBT people were killed. We never had such killings. So the lives of the LGBT is under threat as we speak now. Under threat, and people, they were we were moving forward we were very excited even when the ruling was passed. But now we are demoralized. We are not ourselves any longer. So the lives of individual, the lives of LGBT person is not the same again, because you limit yourself now. We live in environment where we feel that maybe I'll be next. They feel that will be next. So we have let me talk the life of Queen, who was just killed recently. Queen was the person who grew up with me. Looking at Queen grow up as a young transgender woman, and today is no longer there. The person who was very friendly, open-minded, very hard work person, or make sure that if he started the work, he makes sure that work is done and it's done well and perfect. So it's very painful to see people dying that you grow up with. Their life is no longer the same, or because of the HIV, or because of the poverty that is taken over our people. So it's very difficult. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's very difficult.
Thank you once again for joining us in this insightful episode of Civic Space today. We're honored to speak to Wendelinus, a dedicated human rights defender working tirelessly with marginalized populations, including the LGBTQ+ in Namibia. Wendelinus shared their journey toward equality, which is filled with both significant challenges but also inspiring victories. The LGBTQ community faces severe discrimination, particularly in healthcare. Members struggle to receive adequate medical care due to internal biases within the healthcare system. The systemic discrimination often prevents those living with HIV/AIDS from accessing vital medications they need. We've also heard the heartbreaking story of Wendelinus' close friend, a transgender individual named Queen, who tragically was attacked and lost their life due to discrimination. Despite being a positive contributor to the Namibian society, their life was cut short simply because of their gender identity and sexual orientation. However, in the midst of these challenges, there have been notable legal victories. Recent court rulings in Namibia have begun to recognize same-sex couples, marking significant progress in the fight for equality. And these legal advancements, though met with backlash, represent hope for a more inclusive future. Namibia's legal frameworks are evolving, and continued advocacy and collaboration with international organizations are crucial. It's important to remember that while progress has been made, there's still much work to be done to ensure that all individuals can live freely and safely, regardless of their sexual orientation and gender identity. As we wrap up this series of Civic Space today, over the past couple of episodes, we've had the honor of spotlighting incredible work that is done by human rights defenders fighting for marginalized populations in Namibia. These brave individuals work tirelessly at a grassroots level, transforming their personal experiences and challenges into powerful programs and initiatives that protect and promote the rights of civil society. We've heard first-hand accounts from the struggles to the triumphs of those defending the most marginalized populations, particularly the LGBTQ community. These stories have shown us the importance of resolve and sensitivity, as well as well-designed initiatives that will address the real needs of real people on the ground. These defenders often use their own limited resources alongside vital funding and capacity building support to make tangible difference in their communities. We all conclude this series that we want to extend heartfelt invitations to all human rights defenders. Anyone who might be listening as well, including civil society. Your work is crucial, and we're here to support you to amplify your efforts. We call upon government actors and members of civil society, grant makers, and other funders to join us in this mission. Let this podcast serve as a body of knowledge to inspire more design of effective mechanisms of support and response. And together we can create a more inclusive and just society. By collaborating, by pooling our resources, we can ensure that human rights defenders have the support they need to continue doing this vital work. And your engagement and contributions are essential to protecting the rights of those who fight against injustice, who fight for equality and dignity for all. And thank you for being part of this journey with us, and stay tuned for future episodes. And remember that every action, no matter how small, can really authentically make a difference. So let's continue to stand up for human rights and support each other as we dedicate our lives, and also those who dedicate their lives, for this noble cause. Until next time, this is Civic Space, and Siahlongwa signing off. Stay informed, stay engaged, and keep fighting for a better world.